Okay, hello everybody. My name is Sergey Baranov. I am Sitecore developer from Bremen. Nice to see all of you here in our meetup. And today I want to tell you about churn prediction, what is it, and how it can be used in Sitecore with Cortex. It's my agenda. First of all, we need to know what is customer churn in general, what does it mean, and why do we need to tell about it. Then we take a small introduction in machine learning in general, just to better understanding of processes. And then I explain you some solution patterns that can be used for churn prediction and use it, how to use it in Sitecore. And in the end, of course, I show you a demo. Would be glad to answer the questions, and can you show some code snippets how it's implemented in processing engine. Okay, what is customer churn? First of all, churn prediction is one of the most efficient applications of machine learning. Customer churn, it's the customers who are likely to leave our service or already stop doing business with our company. As you know, for companies, customers are the most important asset, and sometimes it's very hard to find new customers because it can be much times expensively than keeping our existing customers. And of course, if some companies have business in the same area, it's very likely for a company to keep existing customers from churning. Okay, what's the goals of churn predictions? Of course, almost all companies want to keep their customers as long as they can and to maintain long-term relationships with them. And the main target of churn predictions is to identify somehow customers who are going to leave our services. And if marketers can do it, in this case, they can provide some design campaigns, for example, to target the most risky customer segments, or offer some benefits like discounts, promotions, subscriptions, etc. Before starting to tell about implementations of churn predictions, let me make a small introduction in machine learning in general. If we say about churn predictions, it's hard to identify from where can we start. First of all, as you know, all machine learning algorithms works only with big historical data sets. If you want to predict, if you want to make ability to predict some feature, some future features, we need to know all values of some data, of some information. And for example, for churn predictions, we need to know our customers' historical data set, their orders, their interactions, their behaviors, etc. And the second, the main thing that we must be able to identify which our historical users are churning. And sometimes it's not so easy to do, because it's not so easy to say that this customer is going to leave our service. Maybe he already left our business. But if we can do it, all that we need is extract our historical data set, mark our churn customers, and use this data and to train our machine learning model. And in future, we can use this machine learning model to predict risks of our churns. In this picture, you can see a general workflow for almost all machine learning processes. Of course, we first of all need to have some data source. If we say about Sitecore, we can use XDB for this purpose. And then we need to extract some important features that are related to our predictions. In our case, it's these are the features that are important to say is the customer a churn or not a churn. And if we have this data model, we can train it. Then we can evaluate model. That means that we can compare accuracy of several algorithms, choose the better one, and deploy it to production and to future consuming to predict our customer churn. All machine learning algorithms can be divided in several groups. Two main groups are supervised machine learning and unsupervised machine learning. The main difference between them is that if we say about supervised machine learning, we should have one column in our data set that is already marked with values that we want to predict in future. Now, for example, if you say about supervised machine learning in example of a customer churn, as you can see, we have a lot of columns with information about our customers. It's some aggregated data from our historical data set, and we must have one column that in which we must mark who from our customers is a churn and who is not. When we say about unsupervised machine learning, we don't need to have a labeled column. The main advantages of unsupervised machine learning is that our training algorithm can recognize itself as groups in our customers and split them in several segments itself. The third group is semi-supervised machine learning. Is just a combination of supervised and unsupervised machine learning. It means that, for example, if some of your data have a label and the rest of your data don't have a label. And the latest one is reinforcement learning. It's a deep learning like neural networks, NLP, artificial intelligence, etc. And let me start with supervised machine learning. If you want to use supervised machine learning to predict customer churn, we will face some troubles. First trouble is that it's very hard to identify what features from our XDB, for example, from the contact interactions, orders, etc. It's important. And also, it's not so easy to identify what customer is churn and what is not churn. For example, in my demo, I have a simple product store with a historical data set for about 2 years. But I even can imagine who from these customers are churn and who are not churn. And the advantages and disadvantages of supervised machine learning. Advantages is that your machine learning algorithm are very simple, and you don't need to have any extra data. You can use the same models for training and the same model for consuming. And it's very easy, but there are many disadvantages. As I said before, first of all, it has a complex feature engineering because it's very hard to identify what features are relevant for churn and what from them are not relevant for churn. And the second one, it's sometimes almost impossible to identify who from our customer is a churn. And the third also disadvantage is that if you want to recalculate your model in future, you can't use your old results, and you need to do the same process once again with identifying your older churn customers, because churn has a very small time period. And for example, if you want to use the same model in 6 months, you can do it because your old customers who was a churn 6 months ago, it's 100% that it will not be a churn in 6 months after. If you are familiar with neural networks, you can use reinforcement learning. In this case, you can a little bit simplify your life because you don't need to recalculate all of these processes, because you can use neural networks self-trained. But if you say about neural networks, it's very hard to use them in .NET and in Sitecore at all. There are some workarounds that if you're familiar with Python, you can implement your neural networks in Python, and then you can use it in .NET, but it's not so easy to do. But if compare with supervised machine learning, you can prevent some troubles like reusing of your models in the future. And the third one, type of machine learning algorithms, is unsupervised machine learning. For this case, you don't need to have any labeled data. You don't need to identify your churn customers before you train your model. Your machine learning algorithms can split your customers in several groups itself only by comparing information that you provide in features. And when you consume your trained data, it can identify what type of group is your new data. And for example, in my picture, document DAG, machine learning will be recognized that document DAG is a type of DAX. Okay, and if you say about churn prediction, there is a very good combination of these two methods that we can use for churn prediction that can easily used in Sitecore in processing engine, and I will use this method in my demo. With unsupervised machine learning, we can have a combinations with two methods. First is a k-means, it's a clustering algorithm of machine learning, and RFM, it's a commonly used marketing model for analyzing customer values. It's not machine learning, it's just a marketing method. K-means, it's a simple clustering algorithm. What it do, it just grow all your customers in several groups by similarity. And RFM, it's as I said before, a method that is used in marketing for analyzing customer value. It means that for each of your customers, you can identify three values. First value is the recency, how recently your customer did an order, frequency, how often he orders something, and monetary value, how much money he spent. In my demo, I used a three-dimensional segmentation of my customers. And as you can see, there are 27 segments that each customer can belong to. The worst one is customer that will be in area 111, and the best one is the customer who will be in the area 333. But what does these digits mean? I can explain you a little bit later. And to be easy to use this information in Sitecore, we can simply create a custom facet for our contact and store these values in this facet. And in this approach, we can easy to update these values if we need. And what the digits mean? As you can see, for example, on this slide, we have a group of living customers, but there are not only customers who are going to leave our service, but they also divided in some several groups. The first group is the group with value 111, and there are our lost customers. We already lost them, and maybe we even don't need to do some marketing campaigns for these customers. In the bottom, you can see permanent living customers. These customers are our long-term customers, but with some reasons they are likely to leave our service. And the middle group is our regular customers, but with some reasons they are also going to leave our service. And as you can see, for RFM methodology, there are many recommendations used by marketers, and you can use these recommendations to do some personalization, some campaigns, and what you want. The second group is sleeping customers. They also divided in 9 groups, but for my demo, they are not interesting. The third group is new users, regular users, and VIP users that have the biggest values of RFM. Okay, it's a little bit explanation of workflow of my applications. Let me explain. As a start, we have XDB. Then in our processing engine, we create a projection that extracts all interactions of all our customers. Then these interactions are collected in dataset, and only information about customer orders were extracted from these interactions. From these orders, we will make a dataset that we use for train model. In my demo, I use separate machine learning server. We train our model, save it, then evaluate, calculate accuracy, and then we go through all of our contacts, pass information about each our contacts through this trained model, and calculate RFM value and cluster for each customer. And as a result, save it back in customer facet. How it's used in Sitecore? Sorry. How it can be used in Sitecore? We can create just simple templates like RFM patterns, assign the corresponding values from recommended recommended table of marketings. And in future, we can use these patterns, for example, for segmentation of our contents or for personalization. And I will show you in my demo. This demo is open source. You can take a screenshot if you want to find it. And it's also a link to a list of my articles when I describe all of these processes. And let's go to demo. And for my demo, I used a historical data set from Amazon. I populate my XDB with about
Hey, Sergey, this is Vadim. Seems you just shared your presentation.
Oh, no.
Because currently I just see your slide 22.
No, sorry.
So you just probably need to reshare the screen.
Yes.
Yeah, now we can see.
Okay, for my presentation, I use Amazon dataset with about 500,000 of historical orders and about 4,500 of customers. And let me show, for example, how we can predict a churn. We can easily create segments in our solution when we can identify some rules. And for example, you can see that there are only 57 of permanent customers who were trying to leave our service, but let me show if I add regular leaving customers. As you can see, we have 470 customers who are really going to leave our service. And if I said that we have total about 5,000 of customers, that is a very big number. And for marketers, it's very important to know for who of them our customers they should to make some offers, some benefits. And also we can use the same for personalization rules. Okay. I have a demo page where we can personalize the rendering. Good. There's only one difference between these two presentations is that in first case you should see one image, and in the second one you will see another one. It's a regular customer. No, something wrong. As you can see, image was changed because it's our Churn customer on the personalization rule. And by using, in the final, it's by using RFM in combination with Camino algorithm, we can easily determine not only Churn customers, not only living, but we can split our customers in many groups and can use many recommendations for marketers to what to do with our customers. And that's all. So fast. Okay, I hope you have any questions. Maybe someone is interested in how it works in the code.
So just a quick question. This is Vadim. Thank you, Sergey, for your presentation, and just thinking aloud. So as for the demo, it's real cool. And have you tried to implement this in a real project or suggest this solution to any clients? So
how to suggest?
I mean, if you did you suggest, or have you gotten approval? Have you implemented in a real project?
No, I didn't implement it to a real project, but as I know, it will be included in the future version of Sitecore Commerce out of the box.
That's great.
Any questions?
Seems no so far. So no questions. Thank you. Sergey.
Thank you too. Thank you all.